Hey everybody, once again this is High Lord Tamberlane bringing you another Obscurity in Miniature. Today we're going to go back to the Wastelands with Fallout Wasteland Warfare from Modiphius. So this is another of the Brotherhood of Steel boxed expansion sets with Knight Captain Cade right here, his trusty eyebot, hopefully with a stand for it, and our Paladin Danse as well. Danse? I'm not sure. So as I said, Knight Captain Cade, Paladin Danse, eyebot, scenic bases, obviously we need those, and the typical unit cards. And I'm going to guess there is a scenario in here as well, even though it doesn't say anything about that. So let us get everything out of the box. So we've got models in a baggie, cards in a baggie, and hey, I was right. Another scenario, cool. Hey, I've got those models. Mine may not look as nice as those, but you know what? That's okay. Anyway, we'll take a look at those scenarios later on. Usual cards. A lot of them, it seems. Ah, there's the flight stand. Cool, I was wondering where that was going to be. So let's see what's in the bag. So we've got our Knight Captain here. Minus a head, it seems. Huh, I wonder if there's an extra one. Because it seems like there's two little sprues here. I wonder if there was a helmeted and non-helmeted head. We'll have to find that out. So one thing I've noticed, and I hope this continues, every single release so far for Fallout Wasteland Warfare has had these custom scenic bases, and that is a really nice touch because I hate coming up with my own bases. Otherwise, you know, they're boring and generic and plain and blah. So that's good. So besides not being in focus very well, gotta say the armor on this guy is a lot clearer, and the body itself is a lot more nicely textured than the other powered armors that I built, mainly the main Brotherhood of Steel starter set and the frontline knights. So one thing I've noticed, if you haven't built any of these guys, underneath the gun itself there's like this little, I don't know if it's like a, I don't know what it is, part of the handle I guess, but there's always a little bit of flash in there you're gonna have to trim off, so just be aware of that. We're missing an arm too, it looks like. He's only got one arm here. Okay, I'm assuming it's in the bag. Let's find out. There's stuff falling out. Okay, so this is Paladin Danse or Danse? Danse? So I like his base. That's pretty cool with the chest thing on it. Nice that we've got holes clearly already cut out to mount the figures on. I kind of wish I'd got this guy before all of the other Brotherhood stuff came out, because he's the first clear example of a guy wearing regular armor. A little bit of flash there, but that's easy enough to clean up. And clean up underneath the gun as well. I don't know why. For some reason I feel like his outfit is a lot more clearly defined than the other models I've built. He also feels bigger, and I don't know why. Maybe he is. We'll take a look at how he stacks up compared to some of the other guys in a little bit. Finally, we have the eyebot. And there's a lot of stuff sticking off him. I'm assuming all those are supposed to be like radial antenna thingies on him. And I don't know if that's supposed to stay or what on him, but we'll take a look. And there's where the flight stand's going to go. I'm not going to worry about that right now. This must be the base for the eyebot. Yeah, you can see the spot right there. Wooden stakes there, and our Knight Captain's pointy hand. Keep it in focus. Not the most exciting, I know. And finally, yep, there's his head. I'm kind of bummed out that we don't have any extra heads, and it's not like I have a plethora of extra heads. So you can see he's got the hood there. I mean, the detail's good on him. Whether or not I can actually paint that to justice, that's a whole nother story. So you know what? Since I have dumped all the contents here on my table, why don't I run and grab some clippers and some super glue, and we'll see what these guys look like all put together in just a sec, okay? Alright, so we've got our figures put together, which wasn't too much of a task. And to be honest with you, if you've never built any resin figures, I'd say these are really not that hard, and I wouldn't feel bad about recommending these to an inexperienced model builder, because basically, really, it was you clip off the arms and the head and the base, and you're pretty much good to go. Even less work with our Commander Danse here, Paladin Danse, sorry. He was just the arms, and that's it. And naturally, I don't usually glue my guys to the bases because obviously I am going to go clean them up before I paint them and prime them and stuff like that. And plus, I just like to glue the bases. I feel like Paladin Danse here needs a little bit thicker details on the face. I'm afraid that once I start painting that up, it's not going to hold. Now, I didn't clean out from underneath the gun either yet because I don't know where I put all my hobby knives because we are getting the house cleaned up for company to come over. So, yeah. Let me see if I have any of my Brotherhood guys handy in the cabinet here. Let me see. I do. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have the guy with the regular armor. I've got a regular Brotherhood soldier in combat armor. So you can kind of see there. And I got the weird squatty guy in power armor. And what's odd is, I mean, look at that. He's kind of squatting, but yet he's almost the same size as our captain here. Interesting. But you know what? I'm going to try to paint these guys up into a nice cohesive unit, and hopefully I remember what color I used for the basic figures. What I'm really hoping for is my stuff from Brother Vinny shows up, so that way I can have some proxy stand-in powered armor guys. And just in case you're wondering, here is how a typical basic Space Marine stacks up to the Fallout figures. So, I mean, for the humans, I mean, I guess you might even be able to run these as scions if you wanted to do something different or use them as guards, since, you know, if you had a Brotherhood starter, you'd have more than enough guys at that point. And they've got the armor on, too. So, you know. Let's see. I got the usual human from Fantasy. I'm going to have to grab a generic Age of Sigmar guy that is not a Stormcast just to see how they stack up. Someday I'm hoping that we get some kind of post-apocalyptic Shadows of Brimstone figures as well. Or other world to use for that, but you can see there. So, overall, I mean, they fit in pretty well with what's already on the market in terms of figures. I'll grab a Dark Age figure. Just, again, I think they fit in pretty well. If you're going to be doing any kind of post-apocalyptic gaming with, like, say, scrappers or mutants and ray guns, or trying to think of what else is out there. If you know of any, you can always let me know. I'm always in the moon. Zone Raiders is another sci-fi one you could probably squeeze some post-apocalyptic stuff into. But overall, for the price, I want to say these run about $25, $30. I wouldn't pay more than $30, I think, for basically two resin figures. I know there is the eyebot here, but to me it's just more of a bonus. I don't know how effective it's going to be in the game. I just kind of keep forgetting them anyway. I'm like, another dude in power armor. That's really why I got this. Plus I got it really cheap, so I can't complain. But yeah, anyway, so you do technically get 3 figures, but really I'm only paying attention to 2. If you can find it cheap enough, I don't know what kind of game-breakingly awesome cards they have in here. At some point, maybe I'll have to do some kind of further video once I've actually learned how to play. Because from what I understand, you have AI cards for using these guys as baddies, as well as using them as heroes for your skirmish against other opponents, for a player game, player versus player, or for using them in the settlement mode if you're going to do the campaign playing against the system. So, overall, nice figures. I gotta say, I like this guy's power armor a lot more than the earlier ones. I feel like the definition on our Knight Captain's facial features was a lot stronger than our Paladin Danse here, but, you know, it is what it is. Hopefully I can paint him up decently. With that said, this has been High Lord Tamerlane doing his usual obscurities and miniatures, and we shall say bye-bye. Dude, get in focus. There you go. Yeah. Bye.